Hi, this is Dr. Olivier Becherel, co-founder of Mastery to Success, Life and Business Strategies, and Chief Clarity and Efficiency. And today I'd like to talk about what's happening in the world, the lockdown, and the change of behavior of people. With a large part of the world being on lockdown, what's happening is that people are changing their behavior and finding themselves consuming a lot more information than usual, whether it's watching the news on TV, scrolling on your social media feeds, or just watching videos on YouTube. And so we're bombarded with a huge amount of information that we're consuming at the moment. However, we don't really have much control about the type and the content of information. And so there's a lot of conflicting information. There's conspiracy theories. There's things that don't make sense. There's personal opinion. There's a little bit of facts. And there's quite a bit of fiction too. And so it's quite hard for us to be able to decipher through all this amount of information what's the truth and what's not the truth. So I'm not here to talk about what's true or what's not, because I'm in the same boat. I'm also consuming some of this information, but I'm making my own opinion and judgment about it. However, what I'm here to talk about today is some simple principles from the stoic philosophers. And the first one I like to talk about today is the discipline of perception. And I'm going to bring back the focus on you, because ultimately you are in control. You are in control of what you want to do, what you choose to focus on, where you choose to put your attention to, and the actions you decide to take on. And so let's get back to what really matters at the moment and what you can do about the situation by focusing on you. And let's start first by focusing on your perception and the discipline of perception. And I have a couple of slides to share with you. So the discipline of perception is from the Stoic philosophers. The single most important daily practice of Stoic philosophy is to be able to differentiate between what you can change and what you cannot change. In other words, is what you have control of and what you don't have control of. At the moment, you don't have any control of the content and the type of information that is being projected or being displayed, whether it's on TV, whether it's on social media, on the internet, on the news, whether it's on YouTube, watching videos. However, there's a few interesting things that you can do and you have control of. And the control of you have is where you put your perception. So I like to use the analogy of a circle. And this blue circle, let's consider it your circle of influence. In other words, your circle of control. Let's consider a second circle, the gray one, which is your circle of concern. Your circle of concern is what you put your attention, your focus, and your energy into. Now, as you can see, if your circle of concern is much bigger than your circle of influence or control, you're going to feel overwhelmed, you're going to feel stressed, you're going to worry, you're going to feel anxious. And that's not a very productive state to be in, especially in these uncertain times. A much better approach would be to keep your circle of concern a little bit bigger than your circle of influence. By reducing the gap between your circle of concern, which is the gray circle, and your circle of influence, which is the blue circle, what you're creating is you're creating a sense of internal control. Now, I'm not talking about ignoring everything, but I'm just talking about focusing and putting attention into the things that you have some form of control of. And that is really the key difference between going from a state of overwhelm, worry, stress, and anxiety to going to a state of more calm, balance, and integrated. And so keep in mind the two circles, the circle of concern and the circle of influence. And what you want is you want to keep them as close as possible. You don't want to have a huge circle of concern compared to your circle of influence. Otherwise, you're going to feel hopeless, helpless, powerless. And that's not going to be very productive in the type of decision and actions you're going to make now and in the future in order to get stronger out of this crisis. So the principle is we can only truly control the choices we make right here, right now. And the choices we make are the choices we make about where we put our attention into, where we focus on, where we do and how we manage our energy daily. And finally, the last choice is what kind of actions we're going to take to be able to be the most productive, effective, and efficient today and in the future. So I thought to share this little principle for you to help you regain some sense of control back into your life right now in these uncertain times. The more you're able to focus on what really matters and what you have control of and what you can change, the less likely you're going to spill down into an emotional state of stress, anxiety, worry, hopelessness, and helplessness. So I hope you find this little tip useful. Until next time, shine your light, share your gift, and be your own best friend.